Well then, hello, it's Sunday in here in Australia. It's I don't know what it is, about the 11th or 12th of May, and it's autumn, late autumn, well yeah, getting towards late autumn. And today we have something to show you today, which is this old girl here that we picked up at a good price. It's a 1991 K100 LT, but stripped back to naked, obviously. Just wanted to buy it to as a bit of a workhorse, you know, to get around on. The Harley will take a little bit more fettling than this, hopefully. So far, I've only ridden it, you know, a couple of kilometres sort of thing. Maybe 10 k's. It doesn't feel like, it feels pretty dangerous actually, handling wise. Not entirely sure why yet. I just, you know, jacked up the back wheel before and made sure that it was true, and or at least, you know, approximately true, like as in can't see anything wrong with it. Bearings seem alright, there's no play or anything like that. Slightly underinflated, but nothing dramatic. It's got this leading link front end on it, which is a pretty serious bit of gear, and it's got this steering damper which is massive, I reckon, for this kind of setup. And it's really stiff, it makes the front end really stiff, but it wants to weave, so that could be set up, I guess. We'll have to find a good place to measure things, see what it's actually doing, you know. Hello, Moocows. How are you going there today? We're going to hide under the tree and you won't see us if we do that. Nice little spot here, isn't it? A little swing there. Yeah. So we're just going to go a couple of clicks down the road and see what it's like. We haven't got Tilly with us today because I need to concentrate on what's going on with the bike, and I took her just down the road the other day and she actually tried to jump out. That was really disconcerting, and I'm trying to work out what to do with her, to be honest, at the moment. I'm thinking, do I persevere? I kind of have to, you know. I can't really just leave her at home by herself all the time. I was thinking about putting a screen up on the side there, try that and see if that does anything. Anyway, we'll go for a bit of a ride. It's a silly old circuit thing here. Clutch is a long way before it bites. The motor and the gearbox, drivetrain, they all feel good, you know. It's just this tendency of the thing to wander, you know. I don't know what's going on with that. I've got a vague idea that this bike may have belonged to was a bloke I know from the forum. I got it from down near Melbourne. Sight unseen, unfortunately. If I had taken it for a ride I wouldn't have bought it. That's my house there, the back of it. I just don't know, not quite sure what's going on with it. You know, I don't know whether it's got no toe in at all, whether it's this front end that's just overkill and making it do weird stuff. But so far I haven't had it above about 60 kilometres an hour. Don't know why I'm looking down that street. It's my street, no one lives there except me. Couple of lammies. Weather's cooling off a bit. I should have gloves on actually. The funny things about this bike, you know, after both the Harley and the Triumph, which are big bikes, wide bikes, you know, fuck. Now I wonder what that is. What is that? I don't know whether you can see it on camera, but it's just weaving around like this. When you change gears, throttle off, it really falls, you know. At the moment, I wouldn't ride this further than where where I'm going now, sort of thing. Going back to what I was just saying. It's really just sort of squirrely, you know, and doesn't feel good at all. Doesn't feel safe. I don't want to ride it any faster than this. Let alone put it into a corner or something. Fuck. Anybody out there in Sidecar land, James or Al, if you've got any ideas, I'd be grateful to hear them. Really strange. I mean, it could be just set up. Anyway, like if it's just going back to what I said before, had a bike and Sidecar, a K100 and chair for sale about more than 10 years ago, and I was in between outfits. I'd sold the BMW, but the Triumph wasn't finished or something like that, so I was looking for something for short term, and I just wondered whether it was this bike, and I test rode that bike and it felt like this. I don't understand what that is. I mean, the first thing I've got to do basically is just check what the settings are, you know. We had about another 30 mils of rain on Friday and Saturday, which puts it over, you know, over 100 mils, 110 mils or so for my place, which is quite a bit of rain, significant rain for where I live, you know. If I did that every couple of months, I'd be happy to keep my tanks full. Be alright, you know. Oh. Going back to that thing about everything feels tall and narrow on this bike. It's finding it hard to find the gear lever intuitively because it's so tucked in. You know, both the Harley and the Triumph are physically bigger, and bigger parts, you know, as in bigger size gear lever and this is the first time I've left Tilly at home. So it'll be interesting to see what she's destroyed by the time I get back. Even though they'll be gone. This, I just got to wonder. You know, is it this front end? But you know, the motor and everything feels good. You know, riding positions not bad. It's one of those riding positions that doesn't feel immediately comfortable, like when you get on a cruiser type bike, but probably be quite good over hours in the saddle. The seat actually feels like it's been recovered somewhere along the line and feels quite plush actually, or maybe I'm just used to Harley seats now. Though you know, I don't think the Harley, I mean I do think the Harley is actually quite a comfortable bike to ride over distances. You know, at legal speeds of 100, 110 k's. It's quite a comfy bike, you know. Triumph was very comfortable over distance. You know, we did ride it to Perth and back. Really tracks badly, this bike. Every little sort of irregularity in the road surface, you know, it follows it or wanders around. Like this doesn't feel good at all. I'm bloody tempted to pull some bits off the other bike and put it on this, you know, like the entire front end, for example. But this feels dangerous. You know, I wouldn't want to ride this at 100 kilometres an hour. I'm doing 70 and it's wandering all over the place. Anyway, apart from that, it's nice to see some sunshine after the rain. It's nice that the weather's cooled down enough to actually wear a jacket sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, you know, actually what this says in a lot of ways is how well with my mate Paul and Mark, how well we got that Harley set up. You know, it just, I mean, it has that little bit of head shake at low speed, but it just tracks really well, handles really kind of neutral, you know. This has got, yeah, it's a K100. It's a later model K100 actually. Sorry, just listening to a funny noise. How about second? That'll do us. But it's got a stain tune system on it, or at least stain tune slip-on muffler, I guess. It just doesn't want to hold a line. I don't know whether you can see it. It just went whoa, for no apparent reason that I can tell. Chaser, that pulls really hard left when you brake too. So what does this mean, gentlemen and ladies? All opinions gratefully received. If you just ride around at this speed, it's not so bad. It's completely useless for going anywhere at all. I had to put the thinking cap on this. I had to find somewhere where I can take some measurements for the setup. And this front end is so stiff. It's not funny, you know. Yeah. Anyway, this is what it is. It is what it is at the moment. But I certainly won't be riding this to Bathurst in 2 weeks' time, unless something dramatic happens. Yeah. The issue is the front end of the steering damper. If it wasn't that, you know, either the frame's really bent or it's just set up, you know. I'd like to be able to sort of eliminate a few of those things. But the motor's good, gearbox is good. You know, starts, runs, does what it's supposed to do. It's got heated grips. Got an electrical socket. I don't know whether that actually works or not. I can't find my Barnett plug thing, adapter thing. So find out somewhere down the track whether it works or not. It's got the integers here, extra integers, which is probably telling you that this was a K100 LT police bike. Yeah, and the owner has made it into a naked bike, and that suits me just fine because that's what I prefer. I don't like big barn doors banging around in front of me. They're probably alright when they're brand new, but they do wear and they tend to rattle and bang, and there's not a lot of knee room behind the RT and LT fairings. And I'm not a tall person, I'm only 5'10", you know. Probably less than 5'10" now that I've got no hair on my head. Anyway, let's see how it all goes, eh?